Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you are following us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and please do leave us a 5-star review. It helps us more than you can imagine. Anyways, enjoy the podcast. What are you saying, ladies and gents? It is your boy BucketHatSam, and yes, we are back again today for another episode of the BucketHatSam Talks Ball podcast. Today, we're here for episode 17. Yes, we had a week off last week, bank holiday. We're allowed a break, just give us a little bit of time off, but we are back again today. So much to talk about, but today we have got on Mike, and look at the shirt he's wearing, guys. Look at it. That's absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? It's filthy.
It's a good reason why we didn't have an episode last week, and that's because we were out enjoying ourselves, weren't we?
Yeah, we were in Turin, guys, having fun. And I did receive a little bit of backlash that I wasn't at non-league football, but we had free tickets to go watch Juventus, so one in a box. So why on earth would I go watch non-league for that 1 week? I thought, actually, I was planning to just clarify that, issue out an apology to the Bucketeers that came for me over the weekend.
I don't think you need to apologise, mate.
I don't really mean the apology.
It was literally a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, wasn't it?
It's not really an apology. I don't mean it at all. I absolutely loved it, and I would
do
do
it again.
And I'll do it every week if I can. But no, how are you doing? How's life as an Arsenal fan? I feel like we've got you at a good time.
It's been a good week. Victories over Chelsea and United. 4th place again because Spurs dropping points, but it's still all to play for. We'll take it game by game, as Mikel tells us.
The way you said that, then you sounded like a footballer. You know, when they're trying not to be excited by. Oh yeah, we just look at take it by game. We just look at the next
Super
fixture.
Mick knows. He knows his stuff.
Yeah. To be fair, I think those two results. Well, let's just go straight into it. Then fourth race, yeah. The fourth place race. Jeez, that's quite difficult to say. Okay, I got it, but we're going to move on anyway. Yeah. Jeez, this is a good start. But Arsenal, some really good results. And Tottenham, is it Spursy being Spurs or Spurs being Spursy? It's not a good start. That result, and what you said, that stat to me that you said this morning.
Yeah, so I just heard it. So in the last 2 games, Son and Kane haven't registered a shot on target, which is worrying for them. I don't think they've scored, have they, as a team?
It was Brentford and Brighton.
Brentford was 0-0.
And I have to admit, Tottenham was so lucky in that game not to lose it. I watched it. Eriksen, I'll talk about him later because I've got a point to make about him later.
Yeah.
But what a signing he's been. What a performance again. Honestly, have you seen the form table since he's started for Brentford?
They're right up there, aren't
They've
they?
had 16 points from something like 6 or 7 games now since he's come in. He's honestly so good. The balls he was whipping in, the dead ball situations. Ivan Toney, I don't know how he didn't score both chances. I think he hit the post both times. Some really big chances, but yeah, Spurs look woeful.
And this was always the problem with Spurs, wasn't it? The inconsistency. They had a good run of form under Conte, but as you've seen, 2 games they were expected to win, and they haven't. And with the class of players they've got in Kane and Son and Kulusevski stepping up to the plate a bit, you'd fully expect them after winning 5 or 6 straight to just roll over those teams, and they've struggled to break them down.
Yeah, it's a really bizarre result because they go and do what they did to Man City, and then it's like they made Brighton and Brentford look like they were 2 sides as good as City. They really, really struggled, and it's the basics for me when I watch them, especially against Brighton. Like it's like they can't work out when Brentford sat deep. They just could not break them down.
They've struggled all season against that low block, haven't they?
They rely too much on the counter attacks with Son and players like Kane whipping ball, coming deep and spraying it. That's the problem. If there's a low block, it's like they've only got one way of playing, and there's no plan B. And I do worry for Tottenham coming to this later part of the season. I think they're not showing signs of a top 4 side.
But it's this race, and it is. After our victory over United, I'm probably not going to stop speaking about it all evening, but it's gone to and fro between us and Spurs. It's flipped around about 3 times who's favourite. But we've come through what looked like our toughest period with those games against Chelsea and United. We've got another big one against West Ham away, which is a tough game, but they're starting to drop off their form as well. So say you get a point and you've got 7 points out of those 3 games. That was our toughest stretch.
Yeah,
Spurs have still got to play Liverpool, who don't look like they're going to stop rolling teams over.
I don't think
and then they've got the North London derby, which will be huge.
Yeah, that game's going to be massive. As a neutral, I am buzzing for that. Yeah. The pressure on that game, and I really hope it isn't one of those things where there's so much pressure on both sides, and you can just see it, and they both play very, very defensively or nervously. But I don't think
it will happening. Because I don't know if we're going to go into that game ahead or whatnot. But at home, Spurs will expect, that crowd will expect them to go for it a bit.
Yeah.
And obviously Arsenal aren't afraid of any team in this league. We've shown that this year. It doesn't matter who it is, we're going to try and play our football and beat them playing Mikel Arteta's way, which is, that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, it's good football, to be fair. It is good football. Who do you think then, if with Eddie Nketiah stepping up to the plate, that's one thing that I cannot get my head around. Here's a question for you. Eddie Nketiah, could it be a miraculous turn? And does he deserve a contract, like even a year? Throw something at him, like what?
I've thought from the beginning that you're better off keeping him than letting him go for free. Even if you have to overpay him slightly. One, you've got an asset on your books that later on, if you don't like, you can ship. But first and foremost, he's come through the Highland Academy. He knows the club inside out. He's played in those youth teams, probably alongside Saka and Smith Rowe, and even a few older generations than that. He scored goals for fun at under 21 level in the reserves, and he's shown
England's under 21 top goal scorer.
He's shown glimpses in the Championship and sometimes in the Premier League, League Cup. And you forget how young he is, because he feels like he's been around for years, Eddie Nketiah, but I think he's still only 22.
Yeah, he's 22. Yeah.
So, he's always asked for a run of games as well, and he's never got it. Even now, those 2 starts, I think he hadn't started for since December before that. So all he needs is a run of game. He got his goals against Chelsea, and he took the first one really well. And the second one's a great striker's goal. He just fought for it in the box, and he wanted it more than everyone else. And that's what you want from your striker. That's what Lacazette was missing for the last
we hadn't scored an open
3
goal.
months.
Well, he hasn't scored an open goal, had he? I
think it's since December.
So, it's around about that. It's ridiculous. But then my only worry when you look at Eddie Nketiah and his form coming to now...
You don't want him to be your main man, but if we were to give him a 2-year contract...
Yeah, as a backup striker. But then he quite clearly doesn't want that. That's why he's not happy in the first place. He doesn't want to be the second in line. And my only worry is he doing this typical footballer thing where a contract runs out and then all of a sudden
these contracts.
It doesn't. Obviously, Aubameyang's situation was a lot different, but it does start. I'm getting a little bit of deja vu, a little bit of flashback when Aubameyang just found this form when he needed a new contract.
Yeah.
Could this? But then I can't see Eddie Nketiah sign a new contract with you. I
think it's unlikely now.
I think he's desperate for.
But if he keeps playing his way into this team, if he keeps starting, and he does get a few goals, he nicks a few goals in the box, whatever, or he contributes well. Who knows? Because say we go on to finish 4th, and he starts every league game the rest of the season now. He'll then have a renewed confidence about him, about the club, about who he can be at Arsenal. So you never know really. He's just got to keep working hard and doing what he's doing.
Yeah, one thing I love about him is his tenacity when he doesn't stop sprinting, like chasing the balls down. It's mental. Gives me Vardy vibes for a few years back when he just keeps running. The energy he shows. Yes, he isn't the most technically gifted player, and you can see that sometimes when he receives the ball and he's trying to play it off. But Lacazette can do that side, but Lacazette doesn't offer you the energy and the press. And he is quite nasty. He does leave a little bit in occasionally. Sometimes he's a bit reckless, but I do quite like that in the striker.
Yeah, you don't mind it, do you?
Yeah, he's rough around the edges, and I think potentially he could do it. And I know I'm going on recency because I thought earlier on in the season I thought he was woeful. Yeah, I thought he was a Championship striker at best. But that's because in the moments I'd seen him, like for example in that Sunderland, I think he played Sunderland in the cup.
It was the hat trick.
He scored a hat trick, and I thought this is his level. He should be playing at Sunderland. But then I've seen more of him in moments and flickers, and I think potentially he could be.
We've only seen glimpses really.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, he's never had that run of games to try and prove himself at the top level. He had a few at Leeds, and again,
Mark
in and out. Yeah, again in and out. So we have seen glimpses, League Cup mostly, and then a few in the FA Cup and the odd Premier League sub game. But he's just piecing it all together and trying to nail down that spot because it's up for grabs. The way Lacazette's been playing, it's now his for the taking, that spot. Nketiah.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Are there any strikers you've got your eye on then for Arsenal in this summer? So if you ideally, money aside, who would you pick as the one striker you'd go for? For me, there's only one, and I think it has to be Ivan Toney. I think what he's shown this season, I think he could easily step up and be the number 9 for Arsenal and be the main man. I think he's shown enough for Brentford. I think it's around 12 goals and 4 assists now. I think it's 16 or 18 goal contributions in a Brentford side. He's got everything you want. He's technically gifted. He can score penalties. He can be quite nasty. You've seen him put himself about. He's good on the ball. I think he's a perfect striker. And I think in a better side with better supply, you've seen how good he is with Eriksen. If there's more players around him, I could only see him doing well.
I do agree, and I like Tony. I like what he's done this season. But and again, it would be a good signing. I wouldn't moan with Tony at all. But for where we want to try and get to, I understand if we're out of the Champions League and you've got to look at things a bit differently financially. But for where we want to get to, regardless of Champions League, we need to be trying to go for elite talent.
Then who's this elite talent?
Well, it's unproven. That's the thing. We're not buying Haalands. We're not buying.
Yeah, so that's why I was trying to go for somebody who you can see has got the potential.
From what I've seen, I like Isak. I really. But again, he's not clinical, but probably a lot better technically with the ball at his feet than Tony. Better linking up the play, running past people, all that sort of stuff. He probably does a lot more outside of the box than Tony. He might not hold it up as well, or I'm not sure about his goal scoring. But from what I saw at the Euros, I think he's a really good player. But we have got to sign someone to develop, to play alongside those Sakas, those Smith Rowes, Erdegaards, and grow with them. Same age profile, ideally.
That's why I thought. That's why I still think Tony's a perfect player, because you look at Ben White, a sign like Ben White.
Yeah.
You've signed him, and Ramsdale. There was question marks about whether he could make the step up. And when you're around a squad that's all growing together in this system, and everyone knows their positions and exactly how they need to play in that system and what part of the puzzle they are, everyone progresses together. And I think Ivan Toney could be that focal point, because sometimes you want a player who can hold the ball up and play it into the players like Odegaard, so they can move it around, and playing 1-2s with Saka and players like that. And I think that's why Tony. What's your opinions on Calvert-Lewin then for Arsenal?
If you'd have asked me last season, I'd have been all for it. I don't know if it is just injuries this season, but when he's come back, he's struggled. I think he's not fit, clearly, but it's probably the same sort of situation as Tony. I think he's a very similar player.
Yeah.
He holds the ball up well. He's a penalty box finisher. He's not really giving you much creative presence.
Is he much more of an improvement than Nketiah then? If you had to pick then Calvert-Lewin or Nketiah?
I think he is an improvement, just because of the presence in the box. If you look at, like, I spoke about it before, the amount of times we get into wide areas and Saka or Tierney on the overlap, whoever it be, Tomiyasu, they're looking to cross the ball. And when we had Lacazette, he was probably stood on the edge of the box, disinterested.
Yeah, I get you.
Whereas if you've got a Calvert-Lewin in the box, he will attack everything that goes in. He'll try and get his body in front of every defender.
Yeah.
Probably Tony the same.
I get that. Okay, I get that. Oh yeah, there's not many players. That's the problem. It's really difficult because everyone goes on about having a striker that can get you 20 goals a season, but there aren't many about. There's literally no one about.
The other links, obviously, Jonathan David, we've seen and was not very impressive at all.
I did not find him very impressive at all. I think Nuno. I think we've spoken about Mendes, the Benfica striker, and he drifts out more.
Darwin Núñez.
So I literally completely butchered that name. Then I knew exactly what I meant in my head. Then sorry. I'm not sure on him. When I've watched a couple of videos on. There's a guy, HT on TikTok, who does really good in-depth analysis, breaks down stats and talks about positional play, and he talks about how he's so alike Martinelli in the sense of he drifts out towards that left.
Yeah.
So he can play. He plays in that kind of left channel inside, which is similar to what Martinelli does when he operates down that that gap between the box and the wing. So I don't think personally he really would be suited to Arsenal. So realistically, that's my problem. There aren't many strikers at the moment there where you'd go. But
one thing to say is that obviously the players we've been linked with, they're all of a similar profile, which is, I think that's a good thing.
That's a good sign, yeah.
Because at least they know exactly what they're looking for. And with the recruitment we've had over the past 2 windows, you've got to back them and say whoever comes in, you've just got to go with their feeling, because people have doubted, like they've doubted Ben White, they've doubted Ramsdale, Tomiyasu as well, and they've all turned out to be very, very smart signings.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
And I think we should get onto the juicy stuff now, which is Man United.
Yeah, I can't believe that Arsenal chat wasn't even planned. That wasn't. But yeah, Man United, it's really been poor. But obviously, since the last episode, Ten Hag has been appointed, and we thought we'd do a big chat about United as a whole, the future of United under Ten Hag, and what we would do personally if we were on the board. So do you want to go straight in and go through the squad rather than talking about results? Just get straight over and done with the squad, because we thought we'd do a keep or sell kind of keep, loan or sell kind of situation with all the Man United squad, because there's a lot of dead wood there, and as a squad, I think it's seriously underperformed this season. A lot of people said potentially Premier League winners, and right now they've not shown.
Well, they should comfortably be in the top 4 with that squad.
Easily.
And then with Ten Hag being appointed, we spoke earlier on a different episode about how this is an ageing United squad now. And you look at what he did with Ajax and the energy that they played with, and it was youthful. Obviously, Ajax always bringing players through, but the press, the style they played, the energy, the intensity, that United squad now will not be able to do.
Oh no, exactly.
What Ten Hag wants. So this is why we're saying it needs a complete overhaul.
Yeah. So let's go through it then. So I've got the squad here now. Every single player. So we've got to start off with David De Gea, number 1.
Keep for me.
Oh, he's got to go. He has to be.
Oh.
He can't. I do not care what people say.
I think he's had a very good season.
He's a great shot stopper, but you need more. As a Man United, he's holding Man United back, and people slam me for this. He's great shot stopper, but he's holding them back. You compare. If you look at David De Gea, compare him to the other big sides in the Premier League, he's nowhere near. Alisson. I still think Edison,
I think other than the top 2, he's right there, in my opinion.
I don't know, but I think all these new modern day keepers, Mendy, all of these players who can pass. Mendy, yes, he's had his moments this season with his passing and things, but they're all better. And especially with Ten Hag, if you want to play this total ball,
I think De Gea's a good passer of the ball.
I've seen. I'm not convinced, and I still don't think. I'm not confident.
Maybe not his long passing, his clearances.
He doesn't come off his line either. Things like that, you've got to be confident. If they're playing with this high line and this space in behind, which Ten Hag has done at Ajax, I've watched a lot of videos, and they push right up, and you can't have David De Gea behind you if you're pushing up.
Yeah,
he doesn't come out. Okay, then. And the next 2, we'll go through these really quick. Lee Grant and Tom Heaton. How on earth they are still at Man United? I completely forget.
Combined age of about 106.
Lee Grant and Tom Heaton look after the grandkids. But no, them 2 obviously. Yeah, they're not. There's no point even talking about them really, let's be honest. Dean Henderson now. This one's the really interesting one. He's really not had any chance this season.
And all the rumours have died down about him where we thought he was off. Not much has been...
And he came out last year and said he believes he's good enough to be Man United's number 1. And he believes he should be Man United's number 1. I personally agree with that. I think what's there to lose at this point? They're quite clearly not going to make the top 4. Just try something different. I'm clutching at straws here. I personally think he has to go. If he wants to play,
I think he's got to go. The problem with De Gea is the wage he's on. Who's going to want to buy De Gea? So they've got to sell one of them. So
it's got to be Dean Henderson.
It's Henderson, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And there were links to clubs like Dortmund, and I think Dean Henderson. Again, if you look at him in the Prem, I can't see many sides who would go for him, other than maybe because he doesn't want to be dropping down to say like a Palace or something like that. He wants to be. He believes he is one of the best. I've listened to his interviews. He's very confident. So maybe a move into Europe and maybe improve there and try a different system and play some different football. But yeah, I think he's got to go. Yeah, if he wants anything. Okay, then Victor Lindelof, first defender.
I think Lindelof's okay. I think he's a squad player. You don't want him starting if you're Man United. But as a backup centre half, yeah, fine for me.
I disagree. I personally believe Lindelof is one of the, if not the best centre-backs at the club. I really like Lindelof. I think Lindelof, you put
I don't mind him.
Lindelof and Varane, I think would work.
I don't think there is any good centre-halves at that club.
I think Lindelof and Varane would have a bad bunch, would be the best pairing. I think Lindelof, he's got the attributes that he should be doing better.
Like a good pairing this week.
Oh no, no. But I completely agree with you in that sense that some of the goals were dreadful, but I still think he's got the better. He's better than Maguire, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's just a really odd player because you look at him and you think he should be suited in moments where he looks so calm on the ball and his passing can be good, and then he just has those moments where you just think, what on earth is going through your mind? Like some of his defensive moments where he just switches off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Lindelof, what are you saying? Keep or sell? I'm keep. Agree.
Keep.
Yeah. Eric Bailly.
Sell. He's good for the laughs, but he's go.
He's great as a neutral fan. Isn't he? He's the most unorthodox centre back I've ever seen. He's just he leaves them so vulnerable the way he plays. So absolutely no
prone
chance.
to mistakes as well.
Eric Bailly, is a bottom half of the table Premier League player. Yeah. Definitely. I don't think he's good enough to
I've
play
just
for
had a
United.
thought as well, listening to all these names, it would just be funny to get the price tags up.
Oh, wow. Could you imagine? I can get them
Lindelof and Bailly were both about 30 million, weren't they?
Yeah. When you go through the squad, it is ridiculous. And then the next one, Phil Jones.
Yeah, he's got to go.
He's got to go. And as much as people... I think a lot of people got overexcited with his performances. He'd do the basic things.
They just felt... I think they felt bad for him, and it was a little bit of a feel-good story when he came in.
But then when you saw him play against Liverpool, and I know it's against Liverpool, but Phil Jones just looked like... He just looked awful. He looked so off it. And I know it's pretty harsh throwing him in against Liverpool, but if he's going to be at United at a big club, you've got to be able to play against these big teams. I don't think he's good enough again.
No, he's definitely not.
And then Harry Maguire... He's one. I don't see how they can ever get rid of him.
I don't think they can sell him. So we've given a lot of slander to Harry Maguire over the previous, however long it's been, but maybe under Ten Hag, he can get something out of him.
If Ten Hag's a magician, maybe. Jeez, like, how's he going to... How is Maguire going to all of a sudden just change and just become this amazing player?
No, he's not. And the high line would be worrying because he's not catching anyone, is he?
Absolutely no chance. And moving the ball about fast is not something
I think
Maguire's
we spoke previously about why he was good at Leicester, and it was because they played so deep. And if the higher they push up the pitch, you're just leaving him more and more space for quick...
players to stand around him.
Yeah.
His job at Leicester, greatest respect to Leicester was just to head the ball, clear it, and occasionally go on a little run.
Yeah.
But now, absolutely no chance. Maguire, but they can't sell him. There's no way they'll ever get rid of him. Rafael Varane,
again, can't really
get rid of him, but I think he's been extremely poor this season. I think he's really struggled.
I watched our game, and I've watched the highlights back, like the extended highlights. He was absolutely awful, and it's not just for the first goal. All game he was out of position. He was higher up than Lindelof on that line. Obviously, the first goal, the mistake him and Telles made, it's absolutely shocking. It's like Sunday League stuff.
It's comical.
Like, you see kids on the park clear a ball better than that. And then even in that action, he's missed it. Telles has missed it. He doesn't try and block the goal. He just stays where he is, and you could see if you watched it back, he's so far further up than the line. He's not tried to get his body on the line or anything. And I just thought his positioning all game was bad coming in. When Saka was on that right hand side and he was cutting in, Telles was on his weak foot, Saka's going on his strong foot. He needs some help, he needs some assistance. And Varane just didn't want to budge. He didn't move, he didn't read the game well at all. His passing was a bit shaky. I know there's a good player in there. Obviously, we've seen it at Real Madrid. He was one of the best centre-halves in the world at that time. But this season, I don't think he's adjusted to the Premier League.
At all.
There's something fundamentally wrong with United defensively. I don't think it matters what manager and what players he brought in at the moment. That defence is just awful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it has been for a few years. Probably since Mourinho.
Yeah, and they just keep throwing more cash at it, and it gets worse and worse and worse. Yeah. Okay, the next, Diego Dalot, or I always call him Dalot, but I've noticed everyone calls him Dalot or Dalot. I never know what to say, so we'll say Dalot.
You can go first on this one, because I'm a bit unsure.
It's one of those players that I think, out of a bad bunch, I think he's one of the ones that could be kept as a squad player. He's not someone who gets excited about, but he's probably one to have in a squad as the season goes on.
Because he can play left back or right back.
Exactly, yeah. Luke Shaw, then we'll just hop straight on to Luke Shaw.
I think there's a player in Luke Shaw somewhere.
Luke Shaw is the biggest one-season wonder in that Man United squad. He had one good season, he had one good Euros, and everyone thinks he's amazing. He literally did it for...
No, he's had more than one season at United where he's been good.
I completely disagree. I just think he was better. He basically played as a winger though in that one season. He was so far forward. He had the licence to do what he wants, and I don't think he's good enough personally. In my opinion, I think he has to go.
I'd be keep.
Okay.
But that's just me.
Okay, Alex Telles. He's in the kind of the
as we saw on Saturday, he cannot defend. His delivery, fair play. You've got a good cross.
But I think he's like Shaw. Both of them cannot defend.
Shaw can defend more. Telles is awful defensively. He's just a non-factor. You can just run past him.
But who would try and... The thing is, when we say sell, it'd be ideal if they could sell him. But who on earth, in their right mind...
This is the problem with Man U.
The majority of these players, who on earth would buy him?
Yeah.
Absolutely no one.
They're probably on double the money anyone else would give them. This is for the whole squad. And obviously, looking at United this year, no one's really appealing, are they?
No, absolutely no chance. Okay, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Sorry, I just creased up. Oh, what a player! What a boy!
I'm just gonna say keep.
Oh,
because
can you imagine in this Ten Hag system trying to pass out? Could you imagine? Honestly, he's a good defender, and he's suited to sides that defend. He cannot attack. He's not built. That's why he worked at Palace. It was a side that were under. It was a Hodgson Palace that sat deep, and he looked good in that system. Where I think it's just been too big a step, and I think for both parties, just cut the losses, send him out, just send him out anywhere, loan, just get rid. I think it's best for both parties because he's still quite young. He still could progress.
Again, we go back to the price tag, and obviously it's not these players' fault, but 50 million.
It's ridiculous.
Who in their right mind is paying anywhere close to 50 million for Wan-Bissaka now?
Maybe 5. Not even that. He's dreadful. Because the thing is, the one thing that everyone said about Aaron Wan-Bissaka was, oh, he's so good defensively. Well, he's been awful defensively this season as well.
Again,
only one.
That's a systematic and flawed, like fundamentally. It's not just him.
Yeah, no,
it's
I agree.
All of them.
But imagine if the one thing that everyone praises you about, the only thing he had going for him, it's just gone out the window. So there was nothing there. He's just a passenger in that United squad. Okay, the next one, Brandon Williams.
Sell straight away. Load of garbage.
He's shown at Norwich how poor he is. And what I cannot understand is, how can you be a left back and be right-footed?
Yeah.
It does not work. He just cuts inside. Yeah, I think he's been found out there. Axel Tuanzebe.
Go.
He had one good game against PSG where he kept Mbappe quiet, but other than that, he's not done anything. Tendon Mengi.
We'll move on.
We don't really know much about him. Midfielders, Paul Pogba.
Well, he's off, isn't he?
He's off anyway.
And I don't blame him. I hope Paul Pogba goes on and does something and becomes a good player again somewhere else. Because
that on his day, we do the quotation on his day.
I don't mind Pogba. I think there is a top player in there.
Oh yeah, there is. He's just we haven't seen it this entire time. I think he's more suited to European style of football.
He probably is, yeah.
Yeah. So he'll probably do well wherever he goes. Who knows where he goes, but he's do
looking probably like PSG, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. That's where everyone goes. If you want a bit of cash, go PSG. They'll pay you whatever. Juan Mata.
He's got to go.
Oh, I love Juan.
I like Juan Mata, but he's got to go. He's too old. He came on on Saturday right towards the end of the game, and he got the ball on the left hand side, and he just started running. And I said to who I was watching him, I was like, I can't tell if he's sprinting or if everyone else is just like jogging really slowly because he was going full tilt and he just looked like he was at walking pace. Bless him.
No, I do think it is probably time up. I really wish I'd love to have seen him at Man City because I feel like a few years back, I feel like he'd have been so suited to that style of play. I just don't think it was ever the right fit at United. I don't think it's ever worked out really as much as you hoped. The player that we all know
was good initially when he first went,
but yeah,
that was about 6 years ago.
I can't believe he's still there. Okay, then Jesse Lingard. Jeez, it's mental to think the amount of players that will be leaving.
Jesse Lingard is a bottom half Premier League midfielder.
Newcastle. It screams Newcastle.
Does scream Newcastle.
It screams Newcastle. He's a player that I'd like to see.
Or Villa, maybe.
Yeah. But then they don't need another number 10. But then I think wherever he goes, it would be interesting to see if he can replicate the form he did at West Ham. Because I think when he was playing at West Ham, I think he was playing for a move. Whereas when he gets this move, will he be comfortable? It'll be interesting to see.
I'm not a fan of Lingard. I just don't like him. There you go.
This is a play. I completely forgot this guy was still here. Andreas Pereira.
If he's not going to play, you've got to get rid.
Yeah.
How many players are we getting rid? This is the problem, isn't it? Yeah. We've probably got rid of
everyone.
70% of this squad so far.
At the moment, we've probably got 3 since the starting 11 left. Ahmad Diallo. Well, he's on loan at Rangers,
he can stay,
so he can stay. Yeah.
Fred can stay.
I think Fred's been good.
Fred's probably been one of the players of the season for them.
Yeah. Bruno Fernandes
will be staying, won't he?
Will be staying, but I think he's really struggled recently. And
I don't think he was ever as good as he looked in that first season. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, and he'll get goals, he'll get assists, but I don't think he's top class. Like when people were comparing him to De Bruyne, it was just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
How De Bruyne's probably been the best midfielder in the world for the past 3 years, and Bruno had one good season, and people were comparing him like on that level, and he's nowhere near. We've seen he's got good end product, but he's not efficient in the way he does it like De Bruyne is. He'll try so many passes, so many shots, and one might come off.
Yeah.
Whereas De Bruyne, everything he does is measured, everything he does is calculated, it's accurate.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Okay, then. So then the next ones we have got... Actually, I want to say one thing about Fernandes. A lot of people calling for him that he should be captain because he shows so much passion, but I think he shows the wrong type of passion on the pitch.
Bad role model.
Because he's always throwing his hands about, and I think he shows... It's good that he's passionate towards the club, and you can see his passion on the pitch, but I think it's the wrong type of passion. I don't think that's what you need for a player. Bruno Fernandes,
if I was his teammate and I saw him throwing his arms around after it, say you've made an honest mistake, you've misplaced a pass or something, that's not what you want to see. You want to see someone encourage, your captain encourage you.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Okay, then the next one, Pellistri. I don't know anything about Pellistri, so we'll just say keep, because he'll probably do a better job than the next one we're about to get onto. Donny van de Beek or de Beek.
Ten Hag.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
It could work out, but so far he's been poor.
I'm going to say keep. I like Van der Beek. I think he's a good player in there. I think he shows it at Ajax, and I think he might be able to show it again.
He might be able to, and it's the if buts and maybes. I think what he's shown at Everton is everything that I said was right. He's the worst signing Everton could have made. Him and Dele Alli were the two worst signing. But Donny van de Beek, he'd be a luxury player, I think, in a squad, and I think he's not... This loan move, I don't understand who it benefited.
No.
Because all he's done is he's gone to a side fighting relegation, a side that needs to become nasty, and they've turned to Donny van de Beek to float around in the midfield. He won't put a challenge in. He's not... I don't think this is helping him. There could be a player there, but it's just not the right suited. Okay, then Nemanja Matic. I'd keep him because I think
keep him, yeah.
He's
You're
good.
not going to get value for him anyway.
Yeah.
So
he can only play 60% of the games, but the 60% he does, he's probably the best midfielder at the club.
Matic can keep.
Him and Fred, I think, are a good pairing, to be fair, because they work together. Okay, then the next one... Oh, whoops. Next one is Scott McTominay.
Oh, I think he's garbage.
He has to go, and I think he's one of the most overrated players in the Premier League. He's absolutely dreadful. I don't. If you look at it now, we always go back to the part that you can't even make it into Scotland midfield. I am trying to work out the highest club in the Premier League where Scott McTominay would even get into their starting 11, and how far I drop down is not good.
No.
The further you keep going, I'm like, okay, Burnley, probably getting Burnley's starting 11. Where else would he get in?
Brighton.
Maybe.
He's not getting here to Basuma.
But then no way would he work in Brighton's system. He can't play. He's not.
Palace. Not if they've got
Maybe.
Gallagher.
Yeah. So I don't know who he'd get to. Scott McTominay, no. I don't think he's good enough personally. James Garner, definitely keep. He's a player who's at Forest this season.
Don't know anything
and I think
about him.
James Garner has been a revelation at Forest this season. I think he's been so good. And I hope he isn't going to be mismanaged with Ten Hag, because I think he could definitely be a starter next season. I know it's a big step, but what he's shown at Forest this season, he's a very good player. That Hannibal, he came on against Liverpool.
He came. Hannibal.
Do you not see? So he came on against Liverpool with the afro, and he just started kicking out at players. Like he got a yellow card after about 30, because all the fans were saying that he's the only United player that came on and showed any fight. And I quite liked him, to be honest. He didn't do anything other than kick a couple of players.
Hair, isn't it?
Great hair.
Probably we love a good bit of hair.
You can. If I'll show you the photo. There you go. It's actually great hair. He's bobbing around and he's running around the pitch. Okay, then now onto the forwards. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Keep.
Definitely. I think there was points of this season where I look back now, I'm going to take it back. The fact that I even questioned...
I was right, Sam. I've been right about many things this season.
I will put my hands up and say, Ronaldo, for some reason, I was blinded and I was misled by the media that Ronaldo was the problem. And he's quite clearly not the problem. 100% not the problem, and not holding them back.
I genuinely think if they didn't have Ronaldo this season, they could be like 15th, 14th.
Easily. They'd be bottom half without Ronaldo. And that's not even a ridiculous thing to say.
No. Who would be scoring those goals?
Fred. There's literally no one. So yeah, I think Cristiano Ronaldo definitely keep. Anthony Martial.
He'll be gone.
Well, again, who would sign him? I think a lot of these people, Anthony Martial
hasn't gone to Planet Severe either. Can't really break into the team.
They want to send him back, don't they? It's been dreadful. He's had an absolutely woeful time there. Marcus Rashford. Now this is. See, I think there is still a player there. He's the only one.
I don't think there is.
But I
don't think the attitude is that. His body language looks like he doesn't care, and he's United through and through. He's a Manchester lad. How he can go onto the pitch and go about play the way he does, the languid. He just does. He clearly doesn't care, and I don't know if he needs a change of scenery or if that's just him now. Whether he's happy where he is.
Yeah, I might be just thinking about... Because actually, when you say that, I did think about this earlier.
His body language is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, no, I do agree. You can't read too much into it, but it's hard not to, the way he walks around. But I was thinking about it. Do you remember back in, I think it was 2016 under Roy Hodgson, when he got into the England squad for the Euros, and we thought Marcus Rashford was going to be the man to bring England home the Euros at one point. And has he ever lived up? He had that one good season, but has he ever lived up with that point when I remember thinking, this guy is a world beater under Louis van Gaal when he first broke in around 2015 time.
Yeah.
It's 7 years on now. Really want to
He's
say
had good spells, but...
Yeah. Do you know what? I've argued myself in my head and listened to your points, and I take it back, actually. He's got to go.
Again, I don't know where...
It's about 4 players we're keeping now. It's going to be Ronaldo, Matic, Fred, Lindelof. And Varane. There we go. There's a core there. There's some players. Okay, then. Next one, Edison Cavani.
So,
I think his attitude as well has been appalling this season, because Ralph Rangnick has literally openly said he's not. He says he's not fit.
Yeah. So,
He quite clearly, his head's not there. He doesn't want to. He doesn't fancy it. He doesn't want it. So get him gone.
Yeah.
I think he's not. He can't be good for the dressing room. These players, these older figures that everyone says, they're good for the youngsters. I can't see how Cavani has been good for any of those youngsters.
No.
He comes on, plays like he really cares once every 20 games, and then he's gone.
Yeah, and he's probably sat there as one of the highest earners at the
Definitely.
club.
Yeah. Okay, then Jadon Sancho.
They're going to keep Sancho.
Well, they've got to. They can't get rid of him again. And a player that I'm still struggling with. I'm still not sure.
Sancho.
Yeah, I'm still not sure. He's got some good dribbling.
He's
moments.
improved.
He's improved. But I watch him. It just seems like a lot of fancy flicks to me.
This is what I've said before. He's not direct. What you want from a winger, you think when Ronaldo. Obviously, Ronaldo and Sancho were never going to.
Or even Hazard.
But you think when Ronaldo was young at United, what he was doing, the confidence he had. I know it's Ronaldo, but surely you've come to United as an English lad, 75 million, really highly rated by everyone. He doesn't do anything directly. He'll do something, he'll have a flick, and he's turning back and passing it off and letting someone else do it. Take some initiative, do it yourself.
Yeah.
Have confidence in yourself, have a shot at God. I've rarely seen him shoot.
He doesn't score, man, he doesn't.
No,
yeah.
I don't know, there's just something missing for me.
It might be a systematic thing.
And who we're going to come on to next, I've been far, far more impressed with than Jadon Sancho, and it's Anthony Elanga.
Oh, okay, we have very differing opinions. I think this guy is woeful. I think he's had one good game all season. I think he's won it again. I keep throwing these things about. Anthony Elanga is one of the most overrated and overhyped youngsters in the league. One good game. What has he done other than that? He's shown
more than Sancho.
I'm not sure. I watch him and I don't think, what is his one good trait?
He's quick.
Okay, he's got speed. When he's dribbling, a lot of time he gets. I think he doesn't beat the defender enough. A couple of games when they tried to knock it long to him, he couldn't hold the ball. He couldn't control the ball. I haven't seen enough from him this season. I think he's had good moments. I
quite like him, considering this is his first season properly of first team football. I think he just gives them something, a sense of urgency and tempo that no one else in the United side does. He'll make off the ball runs, even if he doesn't get it. He's running in behind, asking for it.
Yeah.
I don't mind him running with the ball. He passes quite well. I just think again, it's that directness. If Sancho had that. He'd probably have
amazing.
double the stats that he does now, but he doesn't. He turns back and he wants to hand off responsibility to someone else. Whereas Elanga, I know he's young, But that's what I like. You've got to be hungry. You've got to want to go and do it. And even if you haven't got the top class quality, show some desire.
I just think I need to try and remove from my mind that the fact that it's Man United, because I've still put Man United youngsters on a higher pedigree, on a higher stool, and that's why I think Elanga, when you look at him, I think he's not great. It doesn't excite me. But then this is the cream of the crop for United now. This is the way that the club is going. Okay, then to Heath Chong. He's had a good time at Blues, but at Birmingham City, but he's just too injury prone. He's too injury prone.
And it's a big step up to go from.
Oh yeah, he's a championship player at best.
Yeah.
He's simply not good enough. And then the Shola Shaw title. I don't know who that is. So we'll leave it at that then. So basically, what we've decided there is Man United are going to have 4 players if we're on the board. Ten Hag, about 4 players.
I think we'd do quite good as the board. We'd definitely do better than what's going on now.
Just can you imagine the wage bill? If we got rid of all of them, the wage budget would be huge. It'd be like playing FIFA when you've just got everything. Oh, no. The squad is awful. It's simply, when you look at it like that, though, it's mad to think we all believed this media hype and everything, that they could have done something. When you look at it like that, the squad is not good enough.
It's good individuals, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not.
Don't work as a team.
There's no team there at all.
Yeah, it's just simply not good. And the one thing I was thinking about earlier, could you imagine Ronaldo right now and what's going through his mind? Because he's the only one in that squad right now who was there when United were great.
Yeah.
De Gea was kind of, he really rose when they were kind of on their way out. Whereas Ronaldo has won so much then. He was there when United were at the pinnacle. Can you imagine how he is right now? Like how he feels? Because he's the only winner in that changing
when he looks
rooms.
around and you've got Rashford sulking, Varane... Yeah.
Well, Jesse Lingard.
Harry Maguire, the captain on the bench, club captain on the bench. Yeah, it must be very frustrating for him.
But imagine being Ronaldo. He stands out for being the only one who actually cares about winning. The rest, because he stands out like a sore thumb, and that's why I thought before he's the problem, because he looks like angry all the time. That's because he's the only one who's a winner in that entire squad, and I think he's the only one who cares about winning. No one else seems like they're bothered. But yeah, I think that's everything we can say on United. I think we've done a massive segment on it. Yeah. I quite enjoyed that, to be fair. I think we could have a good job at working on boards.
I think so.
United, if you're watching.
Or the baggies even. I think we'd do a good job
there. We don't talk about the baggies. We're banned from this week.
Nah, okay.
I've said before, I'm becoming a Light Town fan. I want to cry. And then we thought now we'd move on to our debates. Or is there anything else you want to say before?
I don't know. Do you want to just go over any of the other Prem results?
Any other
Merseyside derby?
Merseyside derby, but then there's much to discuss. I think, okay, actually, Merseyside derby. What did you... Penalty? Was Gordon's a penalty? Was it a penalty?
Second one yet, Stonewall penalty.
Completely, okay, phew. As long as we completely agree. I don't understand how...
I think the thing... Yeah, it's soft, there's not much contact, but when you're moving at the speed that Gordon was, any touch in your back is enough to completely knock you off.
But it's the simple thing of they're at Anfield, decisions won't go against...
Yeah, well, if that was the other end and that was Liverpool, 100 times out of 100 it's a penalty.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been questions asked. It wouldn't have gone to VAR. It would have been given straight away.
Yeah. And how is Mane not sent off?
He's a lucky
Twice,
man.
Almost.
Lucky man.
If he's got booked for one, he's got to get booked for the other. But I think the second one's a straight red.
And I'll go back to the point. VAR, the reason why it's completely flawed as a complete system. Obviously, everything is a subjective decision, and in the back of their mind, the people working at VAR decisions always go towards Man United, Liverpool, because they understand the media hype and pressure. If they make a decision and if there's questions about it, everyone is on you. So they just say, okay, do you know what? Well, I'm not going to do anything about it, and they just let it slide. And it's starting to really wind me up. And I'm constantly wound up watching these big games, Liverpool, Man United, decisions constantly going for them with VAR. And nothing ever gets done about it. Everton have written to the FA saying we'd like an explanation. All that's going to happen is, we've seen it before, VAR come out and say, we're sorry, we got it wrong.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
It's not good enough, is it?
And I don't want to say Liverpool like the people on Twitter and stuff like that, but you can quite clearly see there is a bias towards the big sides because of the pressure, the big moments.
And it's the media narrative will be feeding into all of it. So obviously everyone wants this title race down to the last day, a point in it, and that when you're surrounded by that and engulfed in it, it's all you hear. It will have an influence, whether it's directly or not. You don't think, oh, hold on a sec, I'm not going to give this penalty against Liverpool because of the title race,
Yeah,
but it will be there somewhere.
Subconsciously will be there in the back of your mind, eating away, and you
don't want to be the one to make the mistake or the decision that costs them the title.
Because not only is there eyes on every decision in the Premier League for these big clubs, the eyes worldwide, the money involved.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, and then even the fans, the bigger stadiums, it's a lot louder, especially in a Merseyside derby. I'm not saying I feel for the ref because it is their job at the end of the day to make the decisions, but I can understand why they are, why there is subconsciously a bias towards these big sides. I can see that there has to be.
I think there is, but I don't know how you can't excuse it.
No, I'm not excusing it. I'm saying I understand why it's there but it's wrong, and I completely understand it's wrong. But it definitely is there, and I can see why it is there. But it needs to. But there's nothing that can be done about it. It just winds me up. You've got me. My heart is racing right now.
We always have a little red
every single week.
Refs,
every single week, I say the same thing about VAR. I've noticed
big clubs, this,
big clubs, big that. Because the thing is, as a West Brom fan, when we're in the Premier League, and I remember it to this day, and it still eats away at me.
Bitter.
Away at United, Conor Gallagher foul should have been a penalty. Up the other end, the exact same thing was given to Bruno. That's the problem. There's no consistency with all these decisions. The only consistency is the fact that the big teams get the decisions every time with VAR, and it's simply why I can't see how it will ever work. But it's never going to go, and we're always going to have these problems.
Yeah,
I miss the old days. I've never thought I'd say that. I'm not even old.
But even then, you had there was bias to the big teams.
There was, but now they're searching for any decision against Leicester, Man United. That penalty decision, they looked to try and overrule that Maddison goal, so United didn't lose. When no one else would have ever noticed that. If VAR wasn't there, I doubt we would have noticed that. You wouldn't have gone back 10 seconds towards the start of the goal.
Yeah.
Oh, cheers, Mike. Now I'm angry. My head hurts now. Okay, then now we are on to the final part of the podcast. This is the big one. Today, our debates, we're going to be bringing our hot topics, and we're going to just be saying statements and then discussing whether we agree, whether we disagree, our thoughts on it. We'll have a bit of fun. It's probably going to wind up a lot of people.
That's what we're here for.
And that's what we're here for. But these are our opinions. We're not just saying this, because I do keep getting accused of that, saying that I'm just saying things for views. This is my honest opinion.
Yeah, I've got mine written down.
I have to admit, I'm starting to get a little bit sweaty, just like ready to release some of my inner thoughts when it comes to players, managers and everything. But guys, if you enjoy this, please leave us a review on the podcast or on YouTube, wherever you're listening, and comment down below some of your hot takes, and maybe we might discuss some on another time. We're definitely going to do this again, because I feel like we need to get all four of us for the next time we do the football takes, because what you don't realise, guys, we're the sensible ones on the podcast.
Joe and Si are just delusional.
There's no brain between them. So I can't I cannot wait till you hear their actual thoughts. It'll be a proper, like, the things that they say at the pub, we will get out of them.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to act all serious on the podcast. But anyway, let's just stick to ours. So do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
No, you can go first, mate.
Okay. This one I think is a fact. I don't see how this is a discussion.
Straight in. Fact.
I don't think this is even controversial. Van Dijk and Matip are the best centre-back partnership in the league. No discussion, no questions asked.
Agreed.
You look at Man City's, it's good, it's not there. United, not good enough. Tottenham, not there. Chelsea, no, not there. They're back three
Arsenal.
Tacks. Don't you even try that. Don't try it. Are you going to honestly say that? Ben White and Gabriel, even... Where would you rate them then in the... Just...
What are we classing Chelsea as?
Chelsea...
Well, in fact, scrap that, because Rudiger's gone.
Yeah, okay.
Aspilicueta's gone. So I'm saying we're the third best partnership.
Okay, then I want to hear that. So the top two then, would you agree? Matip and Van Dijk?
Quite clearly. I think Matip is as good as Matip's been, and he's very, very good. Van Dijk's just different level, and whoever he was with, it would be the best partnership, I think.
Yeah, but I think Matip has stepped up so much.
Matip's been really, really good this season.
I've got another opinion on Matip in a bit. That will.
Are you going to say that's second best centre half?
We'll wait and see, won't we? Okay, Man City.
Yeah.
Diaz and Laporte.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness you didn't say Stones. I know you're a big fanboy of
Stones.
I know you're obsessed with Stones.
Well, whoever steps in, if it was Laporte and Stones or Diaz and Stones, they're still second.
Okay then, so if you had the choice, Rudiger is still at this present moment. Rudiger and Thiago Silva.
Rudiger's gone. Thiago Silva's old. Ben White
No,
and Gabriel.
In this present moment.
He's going though.
No. That's not the discussion. In this very moment, this very time, everything off the field, off the cards.
But he's going.
I don't care if he's going. Rudiger.
But he won't be there.
Rudiger and Thiago Silva, or Ben White and Gabriel. In this very moment, if they've got full contracts, who would you take as a pairing?
If they've got full contracts.
Don't pretend there's nothing going on off the field. Just the players performing. Rudiger, Thiago Silva.
It's Rudiger and Thiago Silva.
Thank goodness. I was trying to get it out you.
I'm going third. Ben White and Gabriel.
So wait, you've picked them over there. Oh, so you literally have just... So you can't try and spin it.
Because Rudiger's going, so we will have the third best partnership in the league.
I can't believe that. You're actually saying Arsenal, third best partnership in the league.
Look at our defence this season.
Oh, this is not an Arsenal episode now. Do you want to go in with your hot take then?
Okay. I'm going to go over to our arch rivals.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to go straight in and say Heung-min Son is a better footballer than Harry Kane.
Oh, oh wow. Do you want me to just go straight in and discuss it, or do you want to just
give me your thoughts first?
What? My brain has just gone whoa. Okay, I think Harry Kane personally is clear. I think Harry Kane as a footballer is why I would have taken him over.
As a footballer, Mike, I think right now Heung-min Son is a better player.
See, I think Kane is just such a complete forward. I think he's got everything. He's got goals. He has scored this season.
His scoring is dropping off.
He's still got over 20 goal contributions this season.
Contributions, not goals.
Yeah, but he's still got over 20 goal contributions.
Gone are the days where he was scoring 35 a season now.
Yeah, but they still have 20. Yeah, because he's playing a different role now.
Yeah.
He can do everything.
And I just think Son right now is better.
So you have had the choice then, Son or Kane?
I'm picking Son.
Oh, I didn't even get to feel. Jeez, that's confident. You're just straight in. Wow.
I think he's a better goal threat.
Yeah.
Everything about him, he just screams like he's class. He's cool and composed in front of goal.
Oh, I think he's the best finisher.
He drives with the ball so well. He's quick across the ground. His runs are unbelievable, the runs he makes. And yeah, if Kane picks him out, and Kane has had a good season, this passing version of him that we're seeing now, he's still a top player, one of the best strikers in the league. Top. One of the best strikers in the league, one of the best strikers in the world. But I just think Son's moved his game to a new level. He's doing it so consistently now. He's getting them out of situations. The goals he takes, some of them aren't even half chances. Yeah, and it just makes it look so easy. I think he's more assured in front of goal than Kane now.
No, I think Son is the best finisher in the Premier League. If you look at the stats-wise, suggests so as well. He's got the best shot-to-goal ratio in the Premier League. And I think in that sense he's very good, but I just think Kane is just like such a complete footballer. I completely agree with everything you've said, but I just still think Kane is on that other level. Just because he's so well-rounded.
I think Kane's on a bit of a decline, gradually.
But even though he's on decline, I still think he's up there.
Yeah, he's good.
Well, we're going to have a bit of fun then with some of my points later. Jeez. I didn't think
I've rattled a few Spurs fans with that one.
Okay then, so I'll go on with my next one. Gareth Southgate will never win a trophy with England.
No, you defeatist.
We never will.
You're a defeatist.
No, we never will. I think he's shown he's now
winning the World Cup.
It's not going to happen, and it's not even me trying to be negative. I don't believe it will happen with Southgate. It's so defensive, and I think we've missed our biggest chance and biggest moment because now you're starting to look at other sides and their resurgence. That start.
Are they?
We're not showing anything. We've got the players to attack.
I think we're in a very, very good position.
Yeah, I do as well. I think our squad is the best. But our manager is
I don't know. I think when it comes to tournament football, as he's shown in the last two tournaments, being solid defensively gets you very far.
But doesn't win anything.
But when
no one forgets the loser.
But when you've got the quality that we have now, and that young, because it was a young team. Yes, we had Sterling and Kane who were the big guns, but the rest of them were young. They've had that experience. They've had a couple of extra years. They've all improved at club level. You look at people like Saka, Foden,
no, I agree.
Rice, all improved massively over the past season and a half.
No, I completely agree. But I just don't think they don't have the licence. Rice will be playing in a midfield with 5 behind him. We have got the perfect squad to go for it. 4-3-3, actually attack side. We have got the ability to.
Have some more faith.
But no, I don't know what has Southgate shown us. We are very good we were the best losers in the Euros. That was such a big chance.
It was, yeah. And we deserved to win.
We deserved to win.
We didn't win, so we didn't deserve to win. But we did deserve to win.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
But we did.
We were the best team in the tournament. Italy, as they've shown, are a very mediocre international side.
Ricky Lambert has played in a more recent World Cup than Italy have. That's a fact. It just shows the fact we lost to that is why Southgate will never win us a trophy.
But I don't think that was Southgate's fault. I don't think he told them to retreat when we went 1-0 up in the first half. I think the players, the occasion got to them. I think they saw they were 1-0 up in a Euros final. They could win a trophy. And I think they crapped themselves a bit and they went, oh, yeah, let's protect this. And they did that from the first half. I don't think that was Southgate.
But then it's Southgate's job to get them up the pitch. He's the manager at the end of the day. I just don't think... And I will happily... this is one I'll happily be wrong on.
Well, obviously.
I would love to be wrong on. But I can't see it. Yeah. I just don't think he suits international football. It's so negative, the style of play. Really, when you look at it...
I think it does suit international football, as we've shown in the qualifying campaigns and everywhere up to the finals.
Yeah, but it's all well and good. We can beat Moldova, we can beat Lithuania, like all these sides and things. If we played a 4-3-3 system, actually just attacked, just showed it, just being exciting. We've got the players, and we'll still play with a flat back 5, 2 holding midfielders.
We'll see.
I hope I'm wrong on that.
It's coming home, boys.
Yeah, it's coming home. We are going to win the World Cup though, so it's fine. No, yeah. It just upsets me because I just think we've missed on the biggest chance.
Don't worry.
Thanks. I believe you.
It's coming.
Looking back. Oh no, I'm not going to start singing. Do you want me to go next with mine?
Yeah, you can have another.
I've got quite a few. Don't you worry.
I've only got 2 more.
Villa are
I could just throw some random ones out.
Oh, I've got loads, don't you worry. I've been typing them. As you've been speaking, I've written 3 more, so I've got absolutely loads. My next one, Villa and Steven Gerrard are the biggest underachievers in the Premier League this season. Fact.
Biggest underachievers?
Yep. When you look at their squad, they are still in a relegation battle.
They are, yeah.
They've signed Danny Ings, Leon Bailey, Buendia, Coutinho, McGinn, all these players that are supposedly Martinez, best keeper in the league. But why then a relegation battle?
Yeah.
They are the biggest underachievers.
I was saying to you earlier, we were speaking off camera earlier, until they get another win, they are right in it.
They're in a relegation battle. They've still got to play Burnley twice.
Yeah.
And I want to look at I've got the league up now. I'll get it back up, but I can't remember exactly how many points they'd be off. So if Burnley were to win,
the only thing is, will Everton pick up the points if Burnley beat them twice?
If Burnley beat Villa twice, Burnley will be on joint points with Aston Villa. It's ridiculous. And you look at the amount Villa have spent, and Steven Gerrard, the Messiah,
amount they've spent over the last 2 seasons. It's one of the highest in the league, I think.
Yeah, when you look at the squad, the amount of money and the amount of players, and I think, is there anyone else is underachieved? United, arguably, but they're in a relegation battle, and Steven Gerrard supposedly has been this great manager, and things have changed. Would they look better with Dean Smith?
Maybe Leicester, but meh.
Well, Leicester are on a bit of a push. Leicester have had a late push.
Yeah,
at least they're top half, whereas. As we've said, Villa are 6 points off Burnley and they've got to play them twice. Villa could beat them both games. They could, but even then,
I think that's all they need. They need to get to 40 points.
But it's mental to think that Villa, we're saying that they need to get to 40 points. They should.
When we had Joe on here saying they were going to be pushing Wolves.
If you know they haven't won since he said that. Since we had Joe on to do that Villa episode, they've lost. I think they've drawn once and then lost all the other games. I know they've had some difficult games, like they've played West Ham, they've played Arsenal, but
every game's a difficult game in this season.
Yeah. So I think is that the first one we completely agree on?
Yeah.
Yeah. United on par.
Yeah.
You guys can decide in the comments. Steven Gerrard or Ralph Rangnick, who's been the worst? That's not what I was saying. Okay, then we'll only do a couple more because we could just go on for ages.
Okay.
It's going to be a long podcast.
I'll throw. Do you want me to throw two at you?
Okay, then, and I've got one more.
Okay. To be considered the best ever, Pep needs another Champions League.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's one of mine. I literally written that in my notes. Pep will be considered the greatest manager of all time if he gets a Champions League.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't believe that. That's good. Look at us go.
He needs to win it without Messi.
Yeah.
Or Barca.
Yeah. Basically.
But Messi.
Yeah, Messi. Okay, then we can throw an extra one in then for that. I didn't expect us to agree so much. Bar Lukaku, Varane has been the biggest flop of the season, which is my opinion, by the way. I think he's been woeful. And I think he's not...
He hasn't been good.
He's not built for the physicality. I think he's been found out. When you're at Real Madrid, I think it's shown you. Well, that's why Nacho Fernandez has played there for so long.
Who was the Liverpool centre half who went there?
Woodgate.
And he was like really, really average. He was a Spanish bloke, and he started loads of games for them. He wasn't Albiol.
Oh, I know exactly who you're on about. It'll come back to me in a bit. No, was it?
It wasn't Albiol.
It'll come back to you in a minute.
Yeah, it will.
That's annoying, but I think he's been awful this season. I think the hype and things...
There's been a few flops. Yeah, Lukaku doesn't look good.
I think Lukaku's on another level. That's what I'm saying. Bar Lukaku, Varane has been the biggest
Sancho
flop.
up until probably the last
Recently.
month and a half.
I think Grealish has shown flickers, is more so than Varane.
Bailey hasn't been a good one.
But the level of Varane...
Yeah, because of what everyone expected of him when he came in.
He's a World Cup winner.
Yeah, Champions League winner.
You look at some... Yeah, he's not good enough, let's be honest.
No.
I think he's been, as I said, woeful this season. Have you got... We'll both do one more then.
I've got a big one, I think.
Okay. Do you want to save it for the last one then? Or do you want to end on your...
I don't know. I don't think you'll agree with this.
Okay, go for it then.
Haaland isn't as good as everyone thinks he is.
Just... Okay, in what sense?
He's not... He's going to be very good and he's going to score lots of goals. He's not going to be anywhere near a Messi or Ronaldo. And I know no one is.
Yeah.
But I just don't... I also don't think he's going to be near an Mbappe, near a Lewandowski.
Near a Kane. Go on.
Benzema. I don't think he's...
That's a bold one.
I know it is.
It's going to be interesting to see.
I'm putting on to him what I'm now calling the Dortmund tax.
Oh, I like the Dortmund tax.
The Dortmund tax.
You've got players like Ousmane
Dembele, Sancho. There's been all sorts. Paco Alcacer.
Goetze.
There's been...
You can just keep going.
There's loads and loads.
The only one,
loads.
Lewandowski, he doesn't count. Like that didn't happen to him.
Yeah. Mkhitaryan. Meh.
Yeah.
I think the Bundesliga is a very subpar... Once you get past the first three, maybe, it's a very subpar league.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think anyone could put up numbers there, as we've seen. Leon Bailey put up numbers there. King Kai.
Kai Havertz has been amazing this season. Thank you.
Been good.
He's stepping up.
But yeah, I just don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's like a Ballon d'Or type.
Well, it's going to be an interesting one.
It is.
That one's up for debate.
The move will obviously, if he goes to City, then the world's at his feet. Really.
Could you? Oh, jeez, it's going to be mental. I am actually quite excited to see him play in the Premier League. Okay, then. So I've got 3 left. Pick a number between 1 and 3, and that'll be the one that I go for.
3.
3. Kane is better than Benzema as a striker. I stand by it.
No chance.
I believe it.
Absolutely no chance.
I knew that one would wind you up. That's what I was hoping you'd pick 3.
This time to end.
I honestly do. I think he's more. I think he's a more complete
Please
player.
stop talking.
Personally,
he's a more. No. Have you watched Benzema this season?
Yes.
Oh. He deserves to win a Ballon d'Or.
He probably, if they win,
I don't think the Champions League. I think he's the standout performer out of everyone in Europe this season.
But then I think if City win the league and the Champions League, I think it's De Bruyne's.
What if Liverpool win the quadruple?
Then it's Salah's.
So it's all on trophies.
Well, it's proven. Jorginho nearly got it last year. It's proven that the whole thing is based on trophies. It's a completely flawed system, and it doesn't.
Apparently, they're getting rid of it.
Well, it's now on. It's not going to be on year. It's on seasons.
And apparently, they're getting rid of the trophies thing. But no,
definitely will be in that.
I think Benzema.
I like Benzema, but
does everything Kane does.
See,
And more.
But I think the same. But then, you know me, I'm obsessed with Kane. I think Kane...
Benzema's hold-up play, and he just doesn't lose the ball at any point. The ball just glues to him. He's finishing, he's more clinical than Kane. I think he's more mobile, even at 34.
I love Benzema, but I think Kane...
And the big one is he's actually won something, let alone 5 Champions League.
I thought you just said trophies mean nothing. I thought we weren't having trophies in the debate.
Well, you wanted to put them in there.
You can't with Kane.
Right, should we have a look at how many trophies Benzema's got?
But yeah, it's been...
You can have research how many Kane's got.
It's been a great podcast.
You can research how many Kane's got. It won't take very long.
Let me check. Yep, he's got none. I knew that would be a really good one to end on. I'm glad you know what, I was going to say that one no matter what. I have a number, but I do personally believe it. But yeah, we'll let people decide on that one.
Arsenal will win the league before Man U.
That's a fact.
There you go. We'll end it.
What's a great ending to a podcast? West Brom will win the Champions League.
League One.
That's hard. But no, guys, thanks for listening. If you haven't already, and Mike, cheers for coming on.
Cheers, mate.
It's been a bit different having 2 people. It feels a bit weird. But yeah, we'll be back
quiet,
again.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I quite like it though, not having to listen to Si and Joe, but they're not listening this long, so they probably won't have listened to any of this slander. But no, let us know, guys, what you want us to do next week. We'll be back again. Lots of clips coming back out. We've had a week off, but we back, baby. And thanks for listening. Leave us a review. Check out Mike's football shirt shop. It's a great football shirt shop. He's got some banging shirts on there. The link to that will be in the description. Go check it out. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. I've already said leave us a review. I always worry I'm going to miss something, but I haven't. But
stop waffling, mate.
Do you want to do the outro?
What do I have to say?
BucketHatSam, over and out.
BucketHatSam, over and out, baby.